Bună seara și bine ați venit la o nouă ediție a ZF IT Generation. Astăzi, la rubrica Startup Pitch, îl avem alături de noi pe Aizi Ahmed, fondator și CEO al startup-ului AIDE, o platformă online care oferă utilizatorilor informații scrise, video și audio din domeniul medical. Hi Aizi and welcome to ZF IT Generation.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, for the beginning, can you please do a short pitch and tell us more about AIDE?
Yeah, so AIDE is an acronym. It stands for AI-driven education. The concept is that classical education models are not personalized enough for the user, and we want to change that a little bit. This is why we're developing algorithms to feed medical students data and understand how they like learning, and we adjust the difficulty of our platform to those users so that we create something like a virtual professor. The concept is that everything is very cut to the student, so that in an interaction with a professor and the student, that there's an optimal learning flow.
Okay, and why did you start this project here in Romania?
So I'm a medical student at UMF, and it was mainly my own troubles with studying that launched me into wanting to develop a solution that was more engaging, I think. We came up with the idea with seeing new technologies coming out like ChatGPT and more engaging learning solutions, but they weren't good enough yet, and they had some problems that were quite sort of essential to solve. And so I started building a team around this idea of creating a virtual professor and an online study help, and it's kind of blossomed and grown from there.
Okay, nice. And when did you start this project exactly?
So the project itself is actually quite new. Our team has existed for 2.5 months. And in this time, we've been able to move quite quickly. We've garnered a really deep mentorship team, and we're also hopefully approaching our first investment round in a couple of weeks.
Okay, can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, so we needed to come up with a vision, and Innovation Labs helped us really sort of nail down the validation process and the ideation process. We iterated on the idea a little bit. We talked with some technical experts. And then we created our primary flow that we presented in Bucharest for this final competition. And after that, we kind of needed to grow as a company a little bit. And so now we're finalizing the flows, we're finishing sort of financial projections, we're understanding internally what we need to be able to present as a successful sort of company. And then once we're able to finish this, then we're going to open up this round of investment so that we can hire on a team and really develop this product.
Okay, and how about the team right now? Can you tell us about the people that helped you to develop this project?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a team of 5 now. I have a co-founder, his name is Dennis, and he does the technical coordination. He's developing the flows for us as well. And he does a lot of sort of the operational stuff. We also have 3 computer science students who help us. They do AI development a little bit and some community building and marketing as well. And together we sort of form the AIDE team. We're expanding now. We're also speaking with software developers and marketing specialists, but they will be hired on in the next couple of months. So currently we're 5.
Thank you for the answer. Tell us more about the feedback. How many students tested your project, your platform, and what they said about your service?
Currently, we don't actually have a testable sort of product. Since we're so new and we haven't had the ability to really sit down and develop these machine learning algorithms, we haven't been able to really test with students. What we have been able to do is more of a problem analysis. We've done extensive interviews globally with medical students and really assessed their problems and started ground up with building something that actually has tangible sort of effect. Because what you see in sort of innovation now a lot of times is that people develop a product for a certain market without actually consulting with the market. So it was important to us that even though I'm a medical student and I had this problem, that we really take this sort of ground up approach and we understand exactly what we need to do to solve this problem. And since we went this route, we're taking a little bit longer in terms of development. We should be done with a sort of proof of concept in the next couple of months, and then we'll be able to also test with medical students themselves.
In which other markets do you think that your platform will be useful?
So it's important for us that it's understood that we don't um, just focus on medicine, although we are focused on medicine now, and we probably will be for the next couple of years. So we do have that focus. We want to also expand to other realms of higher education, to other realms of special needs education. A huge problem, for example, for myself, I grew up in the US and I saw this in sort of the local schools. For students with special needs, there's a huge lack of teachers and also generally a lack of teachers in schools in more rural areas. And so tools like ours can be implemented at every stage of a user's learning process and kind of support the learning flows. We've also spoken not just with medical schools, but with other research institutions who offer courses in other subjects who would be interested in implementing our algorithms into their learning platforms now as well. And so there's already this customer base that is looking to us to use kind of the solutions that we develop. So there's a huge implication. And really, I think the problem for us is going to be deciding where we use our algorithms first, because the scalability is quite incredible, and the traction that we've been getting is quite incredible too. So now we need to develop a focused strategy on who we help first, but we want to get to everyone.
Okay, you'll be so busy.
I think, yeah, it's looking like a lot of people are really interested. But for now, we need to make sure that the product we develop is worth the hype. So we kind of need to ensure quality and excellence first.
Okay, and what about the price? Who will pay and how much?
Yeah, so for now, we're looking at medical students on a B2C side, so business to consumer, single subscriptions for medical students. We want to make sure that it's still affordable, so we're looking to start off at a price of around 15 to 20 euros a month as a subscription service. This is more affordable because we would have the data already sort of seeded on our platform. So this would be in lieu of other books. So you would not have to buy books, you would not have to buy online materials anymore. You could just use our platform and study all of your subjects within your platform. The goal is kind of to have an onboarding flow and have your entire university life outside of university. So when you come home from your lecture, just sit down at our platform. And so you would not have to study with anything else. There's also a really big customer segment that we see with universities themselves, so selling straight to universities, a batch subscription for access for all of their students. You can do this in terms of white labeling, where you brand your website to look like the university's website for a premium price, or you can do it on your own website and just incorporate their curricula. And you can even sell the APIs, the algorithms themselves, without any of the data integration to companies who are just interested in creating sort of sorting and ranking algorithms for their own content. So there's a lot of different places that you can monetize algorithms and solutions like that. The price is highly dependent, I think, depending on the size of the institution. Right now, we're focused a lot on B2B. So this is something that we do negotiating in terms of directly per contract.
Thank you. And you talk about the investments earlier, and I want to ask you how much money do you want to raise this year?
So we are relatively new, but we want to, in our first sort of primary funding round, which we're going to start in a couple of weeks, we want to have a pre-money evaluation of around 5 million euros. And then we want to raise 500,000 so that we can hire our engineers. We're also looking to do an equity agreement for software development, and we have some companies that we're already speaking with that will be able to develop our proof of concept and do the UX design for us as we're able to build the team and develop the product at the same time. And then as we move forward, we'll move the product from those outsourcing companies into our own company, and this way save a lot of time in terms of development. So there will be kind of two raises that we do, one for development for equity and the other one for these 500K to pay our own team.
Both of them will be this year.
We hope to have it happen quite soon. So within 4 weeks we should have both of these things open.
Okay. And what do you think? How many students or clients in generally will use your platform in the first years of activity?
So we have an internal target of 20 universities and about like 1 to 200 paying users on a single user subscription basis. We are currently in discussions and it looks like I can't give too much away currently, unfortunately, but it looks like we should be able to hit these targets well.
And what impact can your solution have at an European level, if you can tell us if you have an estimation?
We want in the first couple of years to reach at least 50 to 100,000 students. And this we will do by pivoting away from medicine as well. So the universities that we want to integrate with will also have medical schools, but they will not primarily be medical universities. We're targeting larger universities where we can sort of publish papers showing that our platform has efficacy in terms of learning, and we're working with psychiatrists and pedagogists as well to create sort of a scientific base to the learning algorithms that we implement. Once we're able to do that, we'll pivot away from medicine as a sole sort of concept that we work on, and then we'll be able to engage with a lot of other students. I think our primary markets are both Europe and the US, and we want to test in both of those countries.
And what's your target in terms of revenue for the first year?
So in terms of revenue for the first year, we're still sort of projecting this, and we need to have more serious discussions, and this will sort of shape up in the next couple of weeks as our contracts and letters of intent come in. So I can't really answer this question yet. What I can say is that we hope over a 5-year term to reach $1 billion valuation in 5 to 6 years. So this is the goal, but for the first year, we kind of need to break it down more, and this is going to depend on the contracts that we have. In terms of traction, I think that this is realistic over a 5-year span. We just need to see how incrementally we build to that goal.
Okay, and because you told me about these plans for the long term, I will ask you, where did you see the business in 5 years?
Oh, yeah, there you go. So in 5 years, we aim to be in certainly more fields than just medicine, and we want to start expanding also into the Asia Pacific region because this is sort of a really big growth area. What we can also do is we can look towards developing countries in terms of giving medical education as well. And this will also help sort of the platform gain traction. Obviously, we can do this in a way that is affordable for the country, or even offering the product in terms of like on a grant basis from UNICEF or something like this. But we want to quickly expand and hit high user numbers by the 5th year for sure. I think the evaluation that we're looking towards is between 800 million and 1 billion in 5.
Okay, and for the last question, tell us your target for this year.
So we want to integrate with 10 universities, and we want to have at least 1 to 200 paying users. The numbers that we are actually wanting to hit are definitely higher than this, but we have to set expectations for the first year, and then we can expand on this in the second. And just from a sort of infrastructure and architecture point of view, developing these algorithms and having people test them is going to be really computationally intensive and expensive. So we probably will be able to expand further than this after our Series A round, where we raise money to house sort of our algorithms and things like this. So for now, we need to do testing, we need to do publishing in terms of the science behind our algorithms, and showing people that it actually makes sense from a learning perspective to do this instead of to deploy classical models of learning. And then we can expand quickly. So 10 universities, 1 to 200 paying users, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer, and good luck.
Thank you very much.